We going well, y'all. How y'all doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm awesome. Hold on, y'all. Nicole just came into the studio. She made it. Then we're gonna have to readjust. Hold on. Nicole, how are you doing, girl? Look at you.
I'm doing good.
Hey, you look cute over there, Hunty. Look at
Yes, we had to fix the curls.
Work, girl. Yes, work. I thought we were going to come on tired. Everybody's energized. They have shots. You see my shots? Let me see y'all shots, y'all. Let me see your shots. Nick, let me see your shots. I'm trying to play this.
Hey, come prepared.
For
I
those
heard a little in the video at first. I said, let me be classy.
For those of y'all who don't know me, I'm the good one. Me and Nicole. The good ones are on this side, y'all. The bad ones are on that side, y'all.
Nicole was on that side too.
If y'all don't believe me, just go watch our videos online. Y'all see the good ones over here. Hey, y'all. Hello. It is what's Thursday? It's Thursday, y'all.
Thursday.
We're doing a Let's Make Show on Thursday. Yes. We're gonna call it Thoughtful Thursdays. We're gonna spill our thoughts. We're gonna talk. What's we gonna call it, y'all? I don't know. Anyway, for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Jessie Lynn. I'm with AC Realty. Nick, introduce yourself, madame.
Hey everyone, I'm Nicole Wright in the Charlotte region, and good to see everybody on the evening instead of the afternoon.
Yes. Nicole. Hello, Hante.
Well, hello everybody. I am Nicole Crawford out of the Greensboro area, and I do work with Keller Williams. But it's good seeing y'all at night when we got a little flavor with us going on today.
Yeah. Ashley.
Hey everybody, I am Ashley Howard. I am in the Sanford Fayetteville region. It's great to be here tonight. I am kid free, so I'm going to enjoy this drink and enjoy these topics with you tonight.
Yes. Cheers to everyone. Cheers to everybody out there. All right, y'all. This is the question that we've been asking. We have been asking this one question, and I need y'all to comment. I need y'all to drop me your response in the box. Do you believe that the system was set up to keep us down? Not us. No, I'm not talking black. I'm not talking white. I'm talking about poor people, to keep poor people down. Do you guys believe that the system was set up to keep poor people down? Drop it in the box. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a yes. Give me a no. Let us know. But in the meantime, you guys, we're going to talk about, we're going to let everybody know, where we come from. Mm-hmm. Y'all want to tell y'all stories? Because we don't want nobody to think that we're judging anyone, because we all come from a different background. So for those of you guys who don't know me, for those who do know me, y'all know I'm very, 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 very proud. I don't talk about my business. My family don't know my business like that. Y'all know more of my business than anybody do. But outside of y'all, no one really knows my business. So we about to put it out there tonight. Y'all family, we're sitting at the kitchen table. We got to talk. Let's chat. Again, do you believe that the system is designed is set up to keep poor people down? That's the question for tonight. Drop it in the box and let us know, you guys. Give us a thumbs up or just a yes or a no. Let us know. All right, y'all. So let's get started. All right, so Nicole, Nikki, y'all were just kind of talking about, how y'all grew up, Section 8, food stamps, different things like that. Same thing, for me, I told y'all, I'm from the country. Straight up country. In the country, I grew up in a trailer park. For me, I was absolutely fine with that. I didn't know I was poor. My family, they gave me whatever I want. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with living in a trailer park, because I go back there right now in a heartbeat. So, we grew up, food stamps, all that stuff or whatever. My dad was in the household, we were all there. So we all grew up from a background. Ashley, tell your background, Nikki, then y'all can tell y'all background a little bit, and then I'll tell y'all a little bit about myself and the struggles I've been through in life, as far as my finances and all the different things like that. So we can kind of get into, is the system set up to keep poor people down? Let us know in the box. Go, Ashley.
So I'm originally from the Bronx, New York. I'm pretty sure you guys heard some stories about the South Bronx, I grew up in the project, St. Mary's Project, growing up in the project. That's where I live, but you see the P in the elevator, a lot of crime, bad schooling. I was in different programs where I got to venture out and go to different schools. But after September 11th, I moved to North Carolina, and that was the best thing that my mom could have did for me, and especially my brother, because he is 10 years older than me, and he was definitely going down the wrong path around that time. So I'm thankful for my mom moving us here. We lived out in the country too, but it was like a family road. We lived in a house. It was a family member's house. They rented it out to us and whatnot. But growing up, I always had everything that I wanted. Like you said, Jesse, I never, but as I got older, I see my mom like working paycheck to paycheck, literally, and what I learned from that was more of that's not how I wanted to live my life. Now, granted, she gave me everything that I wanted, but now what I tell some people said, oh, I had to eat oodles and noodles. I didn't have that lifestyle. We was eating steak, lobster, crablets. Maybe we had some food stamps. Probably, but I didn't see that. But what I was telling my friend how our lives are different is because you maybe didn't get those new Jordans and have those like gadgets and electronics and things like that, but your parents now are in a better situation to help you out, with purchasing your cars and things like that. Whereas my mom, she can help out as much as she can, but it was still different. I still can't be like, hey mom, I need $5,000 daddy, but everything, I had everything. It made me know, like, okay, actually go to school, get a degree, stay on track. And my dad always told me, pay your credit card bills on time, that minimum balance. So
no, how did he say it? What did he call it?
Dad, I hope you're not watching because I know you're in a group. I know, don't tell my daddy because my Aunt Marlene, she watches everything. But he was like, pay that minimum balance. But but that's how I have good credit right now. So it's like, each of my parents brought something to me to, for me to be financially free. I took what my mom went through to just make it, like this is not what I want to do. And then my dad, he's very money savvy and everything. So both of them together. And here I am now, about to purchase my house. Hallelujah.
Hey.
Congratulations.
All right, Nick, tell your story, Nikki.
Well, it's funny you mentioned, when you grow up not having much as a child, you don't know. I'm older. So we had the paper food stamps and you just think it's regular money. You think it's just different currency. And, you go to the store and you buy a little stuff and we had food. Of course, buildings in New York are a little bit different. So they're different, as Ashley was saying when she's in the Bronx. You don't know that you're poor. I mean, back then, everybody, stuck together, everybody took care of each other's children, it was one big community, but we were all in the same situation. We didn't have much, we're on public assistance, we're on in housing, but you don't know. It was, to me, when I think back, is like one of the best moments of my life growing up as a child. And it's funny because we didn't have anything.
Right.
So now that you're older, you definitely don't want to go back to that. But, things happen in life. You have a child. I had a child younger. And I had to get on the system. I had to start over. Like, okay, where do I start? So I went on assistance. I got my Section 8. I was following my group of friends, hey, go stay in the shelter for 2 weeks and they'll put you on the Section 8 list and you're going to get your apartment and everything's going to be grand. So I use that as my transition. I never stayed on it. And I'm sure we'll talk about that more. But nobody has the perfect life. I didn't grow up with the perfect life. I know right now I say, I have very good credit, but I'm proud to say it because there was a time I didn't have good credit. There was a time I had all the phone calls. There was, going to court and trying to get things off. So when I'm saying I have really good credit and I have my house and I have my investment property, it's because I did what I had to do to get where I am today. You got to go through the test to have the testimony. And that's why I'm here on the Clubhouse, to share my story and to help others.
All right, Nicole, tell your story.
Okay. Well, I mean, like the ladies, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm an only child. So growing up, I seen my mom and my dad struggle. And so for me, it was immediately, I did not want to do that. I remember at 12 years old knew that I wanted to own my own business and do those things, because the lifestyle we were living, don't get me wrong, there was nothing wrong, because a lot of my mom and my dad stayed in low income housing, but they didn't really, I don't think they got food stamps when I was younger. I didn't even experience that until I was an adult, because we had made some choices that landed us in a position where, coming out, having a child at 19, I stayed in public housing. I did not stay there long, because I realized it was not an environment that I wanted to raise my child in. Not to say it's anything wrong with anybody staying there, but I knew it had to be a stepping stone. So I seen my mom and my dad struggle. I know what it felt like to have the lights turned off. As I got older, I knew what it felt like to have them pick your car up in the middle of the night. So when we talk about certain things, it's not because we're definitely not judging, but we've walked that walk. And I can't say I have perfect credit now, because I don't. I'm still working on it. There's some things that I need to do to straighten it up, to put it back. I've had the 700, but life happens. And so sometimes we have to take a hit in order to move forward. And so that's kind of where I've been. Definitely know what it feels like to have to swipe that card for food stamps.
Yep.
I have family that stays in public housing now, but I really always knew that I wanted something a little bit bigger and a little bit better. And so that's what I've always strived for. Didn't make all the right decisions to get there. It's still not where I want to be, but we're working on it.
And I'm glad you said that, Nicole. You want to move on to bigger and better.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are out there in apartments, and they're not even thinking of home ownership. They, it's just not on their mind. It's just, I'm comfortable. I want to rent, and I'm comfortable. But you got to do better. You got to be better. Always strive to be better.
Always.
Got to elevate.
Absolutely.
You got to elevate.
Absolutely. And even when we hit those bumps in the road, I think we have to make a conscious decision. I understand that life happens and we never know what might happen. But the one thing we want to make sure we do is, if we can protect our credit as much as we can, make sure we pay those things that are hitting our credit. And then the rest of it, try to figure that out. Make payment arrangements. Come back and pay it off. I think all of us have been in a situation where we've had to try to figure it out. Nobody ever says don't eat. But there's been a time where we had to sacrifice and figure out in our household whether we were going to make that mortgage payment or whether we were going to feed the kids. Because when you have an adjustable rate mortgage, and we had ours back when 2000, it started, we bought our house in 2005. So it started adjusting around 2008. And when you go from paying $980 to about a year later, you're paying $1,800 a month. There's some sacrifices that come along with that. That's why I got into real estate, because there's no way anybody should have to go through that, because it brings along a lot of stress and a lot of things that you shouldn't have to go through as a homeowner, trying to figure out why that person outside taking pictures of your house. You know why. And that's a scary feeling, a scary place to be in. But there are certain things that hit us. And at that point in our lives, with me and my husband, we had to make some decisions. I thank God I'm still in mine. There's not a lot of people that can say that. But when I say I took that opportunity to learn, and that's why I now do short sales, to help people keep from having their houses foreclosed on and figuring out an option.
Yeah, and we definitely need to have a topic on short sales. There's so much information out there. There's so many people in trouble right now that own their homes and they don't know where to go. And you have, mails coming in, let me buy your house, let me do this, let me do that. When you can keep your house, but they don't have the knowledge to keep your house, because the banks aren't going to help you. That's just how it is. They're not going to help you.
They're not. And matter of fact, that's one of those things where you can get caught up in that cycle, because they'll allow you to not pay that mortgage payment. I have short sales right now that I'm doing where some of my clients have not made mortgage payments in 5 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's a setup from get-go.
Absolutely.
You cannot. And even if we get to a point where we can help you save your house, look at how much is on the back end.
Yeah.
and now you're underwater, and you can't, even if you want to sell it, you can sell it, but eventually you're going to come back to the same square as doing that short sale.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow. Sorry, y'all. My internet went out.
It's okay.
Yeah. You know, and that's why, you know, I'm glad we created the clubhouse. The Home Buyers Clubhouse is not just to get people in their homes. It's to help people in their homes. There's,
Absolutely.
you know, we want to help people upgrade, downgrade, get out of their apartments, go into a home. If you're in a home, such as myself, you want to take some equity out and buy another property and have it as your investment property, or you could build your business and be an entrepreneur, something that you never even thought of before. So there's so many different avenues that you can take, and that's what we're here to do, is to help you.
Yes, y'all. And I'm sorry, I went out and I don't know what y'all kind of talking about right now. So fill me in. I'm sorry, because I need to catch up.
We were just talking about our backgrounds. You talked about yours and just how, you know, that's what the system does and holding you back. So.
Okay. Yeah. All right, y'all. So we know we have a lot of people out there who's currently, you know, you may be on public assistance right now, maybe have subsidized housing, you may be going through a foreclosure, you may be going through a bankruptcy, you may be going through all of that. And I'm sure that all of us here, maybe, well, I don't know about Ashley, but I know us three, you know, we've all been through all of this. Myself, no one will ever believe it, but I have been through at least 3 of those, maybe all four of those things. I've dealt with all of those. You know, with me, I bought my house early at 22. I got promoted on my job. I ended up getting, I moved. They broke into my house. They vandalized it. They took all my appliances. My house was on the market for sale. And boom, got a foreclosure on my thing. Okay, then what else I have? Bankruptcy. I fell for those commercials on TV. Back in the day, I didn't know how to fix my credit. It was just like, okay, want a fresh start? That's why I tell everybody, I don't recommend you do that. But I knew I wanted to buy a house. And that was the only way that I knew to fix my credit. So that's why we are here right now. And this is why we are in the clubhouse, to give you guys the knowledge on what to do and what not to do to fix your credit. I'm not saying that bankruptcy is the end of the world, because it's not. Because for me, it was my fresh start. It was my fresh start, and when I did it, I said 2 years from now, I'm going to buy my house. Bought my house, then I got in real estate, and I was like, okay, cool. Moved out of my house when I got in real estate and moved into subsidized housing. Rent was $715 a month. Like, yeah. In a year, guess what's about to happen? I'm about to buy my house. It's spoken into existence. I got my house.
Yeah.
So tell y'all story.
Yeah, you definitely you have to have goals, for one thing. Just like your story right there, you got to have goals. Yeah. When I was on Section 8, and I'm like, well, okay, I have an okay job, you know. Here's my set rent. It's doable. Then I had vouchers for daycare, so I was like, I have all this extra money. Let's not talk about tax time. You know, tax time, you're getting, back then, you're getting like $5,000-$6,000. But I was at a time in my life where I said, okay, my credit is jacked up, and I know I don't want to be on assistance, because they're nosy and they're always in your business. And I researched, I figured out what to do to fix my credit. I called one company one day, and they were just like you with your commercials. They're like, hey, you know, you write letters, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why would I pay these people all this money when it sounds like I could do it myself? So I took the lowest credit card, and I would pay that off. And then the next month, I would pay off the next credit card and the next credit card. Every income tax that I had, I would save it. This is why I'm such a big saver. Well, my dad always told me to save, but that's when I really started to save, because I had goals. I said, I'm going to own a house. I'm going to save my money till I get my house. Back then, I was like, well, I don't know how much you need, but I'm just going to save it. I don't want to be in a system. And just by having those goals, I achieved it. You really have to, first of all, you got to get the mindset.
Right.
Because, you know, when I was on public assistance, and I was hanging with a group of people that didn't have the same mindset. So sometimes you have to pull yourself away and rethink, and then start hanging with people with the same mindset, or even with way more knowledge than what you have, and start following the right path. And that's how I got out of that situation.
my issue, and I believe a lot of people's issue, is I couldn't get a credit card. I didn't have the money to get a secure card to build my credit. And when I did, it was just like, well, then I did. I would just went back to when I was 18. But yeah, I didn't have the money to get a secure card. And for me, on my job, I had stuff to help me file for bankruptcy for free. So I did that for free, and I took that way out. But guess what? As soon as I was discharged, I went up from there. I started getting credit cards, and I started building my credit, and I haven't went back since. Nicole, what about you, ma'am?
Look, we talk about credit. I won't even pretend, because it's not. I mean, for me, it's not where I want it to be right now. And I've had the high score, so I know how to get it back there. But I get some hits. One thing about it is a lot of people think that when we're in real estate, that everything is about the money, and it's raining money in real estate. It's not. My family has sacrificed for me to do what I love doing. They have sacrificed for me, and don't get me wrong. Now I make great money, but it wasn't always like that. And even though I say I make great money now, we have to also remember I'm commission only. Okay. So if that means I have a month where we don't have, I don't have closings, my husband income is the only thing that will carry us. Okay. So we have to, we have to think about that. And so I'm going to make sure that my kids, first of all, never feel what I had to feel growing up. And they are spoiled rotten, because they think red crab is supposed to be on a Tuesday and Wednesday night and two or three times a week. But that's the lifestyle that I've chosen to give them. And one thing I promised myself is, if they sacrifice for me to do what I love doing, I didn't want to make it where they had to struggle with me doing it. And so I covered them as much as I could so that they didn't have to feel it. Now, we've been through some stuff. Okay.
Exactly.
We know what it feels like to have the lights turned off and the hot water not be on and all that stuff. But those are some of the things that I pray we never, ever have to go back to. And if that means I have to sit with my credit in the low 600s or whatever, so that we don't go back, I'm going to do what I got to do. But
burn them cars all the way up.
Listen, but the one thing, if I have not learned anything else, is when times get hard and you don't have the cash, what else do you have besides your credit?
Exactly.
So always keep that credit score up there. Always keep that credit score. That's why I said I'm going to put mine back, so that I don't have to worry about that. If something hits, I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to use somebody else's money to bring me out the hole.
Exactly. Hey, y'all, for those of y'all just tuning in, look, we're talking about, do you believe that the system was set up to keep poor people down? Do you believe it? Drop it in the box, drop it below, give us some hearts, thumbs up, let us know something. Do you believe that the system was created to keep us down? We about to get to it. Ashley, you want to piggyback on anything we just said, ma'am?
I just want to stress really how credit is so important. It can make it where your car payment is $275 until $575, and we got the same car. So everybody wants those nice foreign cars. You may be paying $1,200 if you just got a 580 credit score. Because one thing about these car lots, they're gonna give you a car. They don't care.
They're gonna give you a car.
They're gonna give you a car. Now, you may not get a house, but you're gonna get a car. And that's what I tell people all the time. Like, you have to have good credit. And for me, I started out, I got a credit card in college, and I went credit crazy. They gave me that one, then I got that two. Then I had to get one for Victoria's Secret. I had to get one for American Eagle. Whoever was giving me a card, I got one. And when you keep hitting those scores, like, applying for cards, that makes your score go down. Whenever you don't pay that bill on time, like, you may have like a little 3-day grace period, but that makes your stuff go down, and it's hard to get back up. But what I want to tell everybody is that I have debt. I have good credit, but I have debt. So I don't want you to think that just because you have debt, that your credit score cannot be in the 700s or anything. Like, I have student loans, and I still have credit card debts. And I'm waiting for tax time too, y'all. This is it for me.
It's funny you say that. Look how they give you your first credit card. They want you to be in credit card debt at 18 years old.
And that's
you don't even know how to manage your money.
I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know. My dad always told me, don't get a credit card. Don't get a credit card. But another thing that my dad did do for me, and what a lot of people should do for their children, he put me as an authorized user on one of his cards. And so that once he did that, that kind of stabilized my credit. And then from there, I was able to keep boosting it up. So if you have a good credit card, meaning not a high balance, you're making those payments on time for that card, add your children. I think you can add them when they're 16, maybe 14 to 16 that age. Definitely do that because you can give them a brand new start just coming out of college as well, you know.
But look, Ashley, the thing is, your dad taught you the right way to do it. I wasn't taught like that. It was, and for us in a lot of neighborhoods, it was go get that credit card and get what you want, spend it. You ain't got to pay that back.
Pay back.
Yeah, that's how
you don't have to pay that back. Like, yeah, that's what we talk about, the system. Like, yeah. All right, so yeah, look. So for our topic tonight is the system designed to keep us down. All right, so yesterday, we kind of got on the topic of Section 8, subsidized housing, all of this housing, all of this assistance that they offer us. And we refuse to buy a home to get out of that system. And for us, we believe deeply, I believe deeply, that your house is your biggest investment. You buy a house, if you're renting, you're making your landlord rich. So get your house, start with your generational wealth. And that's what we're talking about today, building generational wealth for yourself and your family. All right. So y'all want to come on in and kind of start piggybacking off of that?
Well, I'm gonna jump in on that system thing because a lot of times we don't see when you're in it, and when life is really truly hitting you, you don't see where your traps are, and you don't see it until later, or until somebody points it out. Because if that's what your family has done, if all your family has lived in low income housing, then you may not see a difference, or see that you can do better, or see that there's another way to do that. There's a lot of apartment complexes, and I didn't realize this until I started getting older, that are income based, but they don't look like it. Okay. Yes. But when you said the system, it made me think about the time where my husband was out of work, and I was working, but we hit a snag, and I didn't have the money to cover some bills that month. And I went for assistance. And the gentleman looked me dead in my face and said, "You make $36 too much." And I said, "Well, what am I supposed to do with that?" Well, he said, "Well, don't you want to tell me that you don't make that's not what you make?" I'm not telling you that. He said, "Well, but he said, if you're not working, then I can give you a check, I can give you food stamps, I can give you this. So you want me to quit my job?"
Wow. But you know, when I used to be in management, I used to hear that a lot. Jesse, I can't make up this amount of hours because they're gonna turn off my assistants. You know, I don't want to raise because they're gonna turn off my assistants. And that's how we're kind of set up. Don't you want more than your assistants? And again, I'm not judging anyone. You know, I'm not judging you, but we're trying to, you don't want your children and your children's children to go through the same thing that you went through. You shouldn't.
Right.
And it's we don't know any better. If you're not raising them, they don't know any better. They think that's okay. My mom lived in public housing. I'm gonna live in public housing. And for the ones who need it, we're not talking down on anyone again that's in it, because there are some people who need it. There are some people who need help, who have a foreclosure, and they need somewhere to stay for their family. What we're talking about tonight is coming up out of that and how to get you from there to there. Because a lot of people don't have that mindset. They think it's okay.
And I was going to say, the thing about it is, let's be truthful about it. We think, okay, we're not leaving our kids something. You're leaving your children something. Whether it be you went out there and worked hard, or have insurance policies or whatever, and you're leaving the money to be able to take care of them and their families. But you're leaving them something. Even if you don't have a penny to your name, what are you leaving your children? What are you leaving generations that's coming up behind you? Because believe it or not, we can continue to leave them the generational mess that we inherited. Whether that be the mindset that we're going to stay right here, whether it's the mindset that we don't have to have credit, whether it's the mindset that we're not going to do any better than what we're doing right now. You're leaving that. So what decision are you going to make today to change that and leave them something better so they don't have to struggle the same way we're doing now or that we did?
Right. And who knows if assistance will be here forever? Who knows?
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. This is what we're talking about because, I've had this. I didn't think this way until I met my husband, to be honest. The thing is, you sit there. To be honest, why would you want more if you're getting it for free? If you're getting that handout, why would you want more? You don't want more. So you're not going to go out and try to make more money. You're not going to go out and try to start your business. You're not going to go out and want for anything because you don't need it. And that's where it all comes from. The system is set up so poor people can't go out and want for anything or need anything because why? It's handed to you and you're getting the minimum. Instead of you going out thinking differently, having a different mindset and wanting more. But I'm on Section 8. I get this check every month. I don't need any more. I'm good. Because the system, the government, they're giving me this amount when God has in store for us to have this amount.
Abundance.
See the difference? So, I never, ever thought like that. And like I said, my husband and I, we had some arguments, but that right there opened my eyes up a lot because I never, ever thought that way. Ever. You get that.
And you're not going to.
What are you working for?
You're not going to change your mind overnight. It takes a while to change your mindset. But, the more you stay positive, stay around positive people to change it, you're going to become a better person. I'm not saying you're a bad person right now, but you'll be better for you. You'll be better for your children. As of right now, if you're in an apartment and God forbid something happens tomorrow and you don't have a life insurance policy or anything like that, what happens to your children? What happens to your children's children? Right. But if you have a house, then that goes on through generations to generations to generations. Look at how back in the day, how, everybody used to own their own houses. Everybody. And then you have people come in who wants to buy your house and they want to change it over to the rich area.
No. Did y'all see that story on TV when, I can't even think of the state right now, but it was this black neighborhood. They were rich, they were wealthy, and they came down and dropped all kinds of stuff on them. And they just actually sued them for that happening some years ago, back in 1920.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes.
Wall Street. Yeah.
Yeah. So and again, it's always been hard. It's been very hard. The system. I truly and honestly believe it. But we got to change our mindset and we have to think differently. This is why we are here on the Clubhouse, so we can have everyone think different. So,
right.
Y'all got anything y'all want to add before
I would just say, to educate yourself. Even with me, like today was a bad day for me a little bit because, to a lot of people, they would say, actually, you're doing so well, you're doing this, but I'm not happy at where I'm at. I'm not going to say I'm okay. I don't want to say I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied at where I'm at because I am happy at where I'm at, but I'm not satisfied. So I was so hard on myself today and I was in here crying and everything. Oh. And my mom was like, girl, get it together. I'm like, no, Mom, that's not it. That's not what I want to hear right now. She was like, ain't nothing wrong with you, girl. And I'm like, that's the problem with people. I'm telling you something is wrong. And you just think that because I got this going on, that I'm just supposed to be happy and okay. So it's just like, it's okay to feel your feels. It's okay to not be so sure about the next day. And that's why I try to stay in the present moment. I try not to look so far ahead. But now that I have a child, it's like my mind is constantly running like, how can I be a better person for my daughter? How can I leave something for my daughter? How can I do this? So it's like, just educate yourself. Like, don't wait for somebody to educate you. Educate yourself. Yeah, we're the Home Buyers Clubhouse. That's what we're here for. But whenever you get off this live, go Google something. Go research something. Go talk to somebody else. And that's what it's like. Never be the smartest person in the room, because then you can't grow. You know? So that's the biggest thing I can just say. Always try to educate yourself. It's okay to feel down. It's okay to not be so happy at where you're at right now, but know that it's a bigger picture, and as long as you have goals, like everyone said today, you can achieve them. And for me, is when I write them out and I see them every day, I'm like, okay, I like this truck. Okay, Ashley, better sell some houses. You better do something. Like, you better do something, because my job is not going to afford me that, you know? So it's like, okay, I need to get up. You know, Jesse was like, let's do some door knocking. I ain't hit her back yet about it, but you know, but I've been thinking about it. I said, because I want that Lexus truck. I'm like, I want to pull up to my new house in my new whip. So, you know, that's what I want. So, you know, never just be satisfied at where you're at, because you can keep going higher and higher. There's no end. The sky is not the limit.
We're going somewhere.
Yeah, the biggest thing that came out of that is set goals and write it down every day. Which said,
don't let people talk you into. I for a long time I had to battle with not being satisfied. There is nothing, and I'm gonna say it again. There is nothing wrong with wanting more. That does not mean that you're not happy where you are. That does not mean that you're not grateful for what God has given you. But He said that He was giving us abundance. So why would we not go for it? Okay. Amen. And it doesn't have to be materialistic things, but you know, that's because I remember, and I was talking to my husband about this a while back when I really first started wanting to get into. I knew I wanted an office job. I tried working in the factory when I was younger. I knew that wasn't for Nicole. That was not going to work. So my first office job I got, I asked him, could I get could he pay me a certain amount? And do you know he let me go? Because he told me he would never be satisfied.
Wow.
That was about 20 something years ago. And I remember that. And it stayed with me for a long time. And then I realized there was nothing wrong with me wanting more.
It's nothing. And there's so wrong. I feel like we had the same word, because this morning when I was getting ready, that's one of the words I was supposed to tell y'all. It's nothing, because you have your family members having you thinking that you're better. You're bad. You think you're better than we are because you want more. Don't let nobody tell you that you're wrong for wanting more. Same word, girl. Yes. I always want more. There's nothing wrong. It's not that you're ungrateful. It's just you know what God has promised you. I'm sorry, girl. I didn't mean to cut in, but that's no.
Yeah, that's it. You know what God. When I'm sleeping, I'm having these dreams. I'm on an island.
Yeah.
And I wake up and I'm just in my bed. I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that. And then also it's like with real estate, I want to do it full time because I want to be able to live free. Somebody called me today, like, hey, you want to go to Cali this weekend? I'm like, oh, I can't, because you're not coming back to Tuesday, so I can't go. I got work, you know. So it's just like I just want to be able to be free. There's nothing wrong with working an 8 to 5 job, 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong with being an entrepreneur. Everybody, somebody got to work at these places, and we got to create places for people to work too. And if you're truly happy just living in your apartment, that is your life. And don't let us make you think like you not where you need to be, because some people just like that. They don't want the responsibility, you know, of having a house. So it's nothing wrong with that either. But overall, for your children, for everybody else, you just gotta want a little bit more.
Everybody have their own journey.
Yes,
everybody.
Absolutely.
If you don't have that in you to not want to do more, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just everybody have their own thing. And God has a destiny for me, for you, for all of us. So maybe that's not your destiny. Maybe it's your job to sit at home and watch your neighbors walk by. That's on you. And we're not here judging you, but everybody have their own dreams. But for those who want more, there's nothing wrong with it. And you're not better than anyone else. And don't let anybody or anything hold you back from achieving what you want to do in life. Don't. Y'all got anything y'all want to add before I close up?
Amen to that.
I feel it in here, and I ain't even about to stand up. I don't even want to start doing this. I feel it. I don't want. Y'all know we going all night. I don't want it.
But you know, I was gonna say one thing. If you don't want it, you don't have to do it. You don't have to buy a house for yourself to live in. You can live in that apartment and still invest. There is nothing wrong with stacking your coins while you sit in that apartment. There is nothing wrong with collecting rent from somebody else while you're sitting in that apartment. There is nothing wrong with that if that's what you desire. But what we're saying is just do a tad bit more. So while you're in your apartment, if you have an extra $5,000-$10,000, invest it in somebody else. 5 or 6 people pull y'all money together and buy something.
Look, y'all.
Or you could buy a duplex and live on one side and rent out the other side, and you don't have to pay any rent.
Absolutely.
Or your mortgage.
Because you can
still use the FHA loan.
Ooh. Absolutely.
You definitely do that. But y'all, look, you can achieve anything that y'all want to do in life. Today, I shared a post that said, get ready, y'all. And by the end of June, we'll have a few people move in, blah, blah, etc. And I told a friend of mine, she's the one that posted it originally, and I just shared it. And I said, look, she said, I'm manifesting it. I said, look, what you need to do is you need to go to the store, go buy you a box, get you some packing tape, get you a marker, take some items and sit it inside that box. Write the name of the room that you're going to put this stuff in whenever you move inside your house. You got to manifest it, y'all. You got to see it, and you got to believe it, and you got to want to achieve it. Saying it each day, you just thinking it, okay, cool. You may forget. You need to see it on that wall. You need to see it in that box. You need to see it in that room. I've written many checks to myself saying, I'm going to do this because you know what? I need to see this check on my wall. I want this check. I said at the beginning of this year, I was going to make a certain amount. I've already done that. Now I'm ready to go a little bit higher. So that's all I'm saying, y'all. You got to see it to achieve it. You got to believe it to achieve it. I'm not about to get started. It's getting late. We ain't got to do this tonight.
And let me add on that, because you know some people, they don't even know where to start. If you need help, reach out to us. We can have a 10-minute conversation to help you. You know, you may not know where to go. You don't know if you want to own a home or how you want to do it, or you want another job, or you want to just to elevate yourself. If you need help, you need guidance, just reach out to us. That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. Anytime.
Yes, y'all. So for those of you guys, we're going to break it down a little bit. For those of you guys who are in a tough spot, you're struggling. There are so many people with the pandemic. You may be behind on your rent. You may be about to face foreclosure. What are you going to do whenever they lift that order? There are so many resources in place. And the thing was, we were kind of talking about, is there really a plan in place for people who can't afford to pay their mortgage? There are plans in place, y'all. If y'all need some help, if you are facing foreclosure, if y'all need some guidance, don't let your house get foreclosed on. We got a short sale specialist in this group in here, you guys. We have many resources and we can help you guys. There is a light at the end of that tunnel, and we can guide you guys and we can walk you through it. So don't give up. Don't
ignore the situation. I used to be one of those people. I used to be ignoring it like, well, something will happen. Like,
I don't see it.
Somebody will take care of it. I don't know. Don't ignore it. Do not ignore it.
All right, y'all. And last but not least, what are we working on to break our generational curses? What are you working on? Are you going to write down your goals tonight? Are you going to see your goals? You're going to start on your vision board. Start today. Start tonight. Start small, because right now we're having this conversation and it's going to be going out of your head by tomorrow. Start tonight. Put it on your wall. If you don't do nothing but put it on your sink, in your bathroom, on your mirror in your bathroom to finish it up tomorrow. You need to start, and you need to start getting those things bubbling up inside your brain. Get things moving. Let's go, y'all. We're going to break generational curses. We are about to start on some stuff to get y'all going. We have some stuff that we have brewing over here in the clubhouse, and we are so excited to share it with y'all. We got so many dreams, y'all, so many goals. We want to help. That's why we are here. We mean it. All right, y'all. We're going to take it out, y'all. Nick, take it out.
All right, guys. I'm Nicole Wright. I'm in the Charlotte, South Carolina region. You know, we have Fort Mill and Rock Hill right on the edge. I'm with EXP Realty, and you can reach out to me here on the Clubhouse.
Nicole. Y'all hear those vocals? Nicole.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, you don't want me to sing now. You don't want me to sing. But I'm Nicole Crawford out of the Greensboro Triad area. I am with Keller Williams. You can always reach me here at the Clubhouse, and you can hit me up on my cell phone, and I promise you I will answer you eventually. I'm just kidding. But you can always reach me on my cell, 336-457-3007.
Ashley.
And I am Ashley Howard. I am in the Sanford, Fayetteville area. I am with Realty One Liberty out of Fayetteville. You can reach me here at the Clubhouse. You can contact me at 917-579-7829. And probably be best to shoot me a text first because I get a lot of phone calls from my real job. Just too much going on.
All right, you guys. My name is Jessie Lynn. I'm with A to Z Realty. You can reach me at www.thehomebuyerclubhouse.com. You can reach all of us there. And you can also reach me at 919-818-9854. You can find me at Jessie Wright Homes on Facebook. And I'll see you guys soon. Y'all have a good weekend. Enjoy. Be safe. Good night, y'all. Goodbye.